And I look at
Well, they found out, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the black box that sends out the beacon, you would think already that the batteries have died in that.
Yeah.
They were died before. They had died before the plane went down.
Well, yeah, because it's a Malaysian plane, and they've probably never replaced it.
Speaking of which, remember the Spirit airline thing earlier this week? Was that Spirit?
I don't know if it was Spirit. I'm pretty sure I know what you're
But there was the airline that the airplane had crashed. Or no,
that skidded.
Yeah, it had skidded and went off the runway. That was nuts.
I want to throw my one statement about that skidding thing.
Hold on, before the skidding, what I was talking about was that U.S. Airways or Southwestern, something like that, where they didn't do their inspections, and so they had delayed all these flights and stuff.
Like half of them, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing about that skidding thing, and something that just drives me up the freaking wall, those people, well, it was a tragic thing. First off, they're freaking idiots to start off with. You should have never got off the plane. Getting off on the wings was probably the stupidest thing you could have imagined doing.
Why is that?
Because that's where the engines were, and that's where the fuel is at. Okay, that's where it was leaking from.
So what would you have done?
You go out the back exit, you wait for the emergency crew to come with the thing to get you out. Yeah, you're going to be scared crapless, but planes are meant to burn. That might seem strange, but they're meant to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, there was almost zero risk of that plane going in the water. Okay? Everyone was scared to death and freaked out that the plane was going to skid into the water. I don't know if you've ever seen an airport near the water, but there's about a 30-foot wall of dirt. And in all the news photos, you can see this plane stuck up the wall of dirt. If that plane had made it up that wall of dirt, it probably could have kept flying at that point because it had enough momentum. Okay? That's just
People just wanted to get the heck off.
Yeah.
They didn't want to stay around and wait for the peanuts to be served. They wanted to get off that plane. I don't blame them.
The thing is, though, I understand it's a tragic thing and you're scared to death, but do you really want to slide down the wing without the emergency thing because it didn't deploy?
Oh, really? The slide?
Yeah. Do you want to climb down that wing where gas is pouring out of? Or do you want to wait for the crew who showed up in 8 minutes with a ladder to take you out the back?
Yeah.
Okay? That's just my feeling. I'm going to wait till there's actually flames on that wing.
Yeah.
Before I think of going out the other wing that's not yet in flames. I'm not going to cover myself in gas.
So it doesn't work like that where there's a little bit of your plane crashes and then all of a sudden the plane explodes. Sorry. Like in the movie Speed.
You see, the thing is, jets are made to crash. Mm-hmm. They are made to hit a brick wall, basically. And the fuel doesn't burn like people think it burns. It burns, but it's it's not even like gas that you put in your car. It's meant to be compressed like diesel.
Oh, okay.
Anyone who's burned diesel...
So is it like the same principle as diesel where you drop a match on it and it won't ignite?
Basically, yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
You can burn it. You can burn it. You can definitely burn it. But it has to have the right...
So it's not like dumping gas on a fire or dumping gas on like a piece of cardboard and then setting a match on it.
Well, this is only true for bigger planes. For small single-engine planes, yeah, they'll burst into a fireball because it's just high-octane gas. But for jets...
Jet fuel.
The fuel can burn. Don't get me wrong. It can definitely burn. But it has to achieve a very high temperature to start that burning.
Okay.
And it either needs the extremely high temperature or it needs the compression. Just like diesel. That's why you have to keep your diesel engine warm in the winter so it doesn't freeze.
And you can't, and if you don't believe us, don't try this at home, kids. No, dump diesel on a piece of cardboard and drop a match on it.
It'll do nothing.
It's not going to do anything.
It'll do absolutely nothing.
Actually, the diesel will put out the match.
But on the same hand, if you get a really roaring fire and you dump diesel on it, it'll burn. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's kind of the same way with oil. In all honesty. But that's the way jets are designed. And they're designed to use this fuel because of a crash. Mm-hmm. They want to make it the safest they can. for the exact reason of a crash. I'm pretty sure it was developed because of water landings and the fact that the water holds the fuel and you want to make it the least bit flammable.
Okay.
And there was a lot of different ideas. I think this came about in the 90s. I think planes before that did burn just high-octane fuel.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident in that statement. But yeah, all those people, I mean, I understand it's a... And maybe I can keep my cool better in a horrific incident. I don't know. Maybe I can, maybe...
You're not like me.
I just think differently.
Very, very easily.
Yeah, see, I always think... You know, this sounds terrible. It really does. But you have to watch out for yourself, okay? You can't think of what's the best... Or what is the group doing? You can't think that way. Because
you're a leader. You're a natural-born leader.
Well, no, I just know the average person is a freaking idiot.
That's my favorite quote from Jeff the Tech. He says that all the time. Like I'll be talking to him and I'll be like, Jeff, what if this or what if that? How come this? How come that? And his go-to answer is DJ.
The average person.
The average person is an idiot, so, and the average person is.
When you come into
you're dealing with Jeff the Tech, who is a natural genius.
When you get in
I'm trying to brag, but the guy who puts my show together every week is a genius.
When you get in a horrific incident, and maybe I've just been through enough of these to get to the point where it doesn't bother me anymore. But even like when I found my dad passed out on the floor.
Wait, I never heard the story. What?
Yeah, the first time you went to the hospital.
You found him passed out, like unconscious?
Well, my mom was there, but...
God.
He was with it, but not totally. The average reaction at that point for the average person is to start freaking out. Okay. But I already know 911 is on the phone. Okay. So what do I think of? Okay. Well, first off, we live in a rural area.
Okay.
So what's going to be the number one issue?
Getting to the hospital. Transportation?
You're getting warmer. Finding where we're at.
Okay.
Because...
You see, this is where you and I are different. I panic in situations like this. What I would have done is picked up the phone, even though your mother was already on the phone with 911. I would have picked up my phone and called 911 because I would think I'd have advantage. I would have an advantage with two separate 911 operators working together, but that's not how it works.
The funny thing is what I did is I picked up one of my handhelds and I went to the Hearn channel, which is what ambulances uses.
Okay.
So I could tell when they were getting close. Then I went outside to make sure that they churned on our road because we're inside of a building and we're next to a lake. That's going to screw up GPS about the best that you can do it.
All right.
So that's the way I think in an emergency is maybe I can just keep my cool a lot better.
And there's a lot of people like you, but
if I crashed,
the average person's
if I crashed in a plane, I would be thinking the same way. I would be thinking, first off, the first thing I would do is I would make sure the pilots were still with it. Because contrary to what you think, that pilot knows a hell of a lot more about that plane than you know about that plane. So if he can still carry on a conversation, he's your best person to deal with.
Okay.
So that would have been my first
I hope
thing.
you're taking notes, and just in case if you ever get into a plane accident.
If he wasn't conscious, my next thing would have been air traffic control. Because I know that they're my next best bet. I actually wouldn't have thought of phones for the very reason of the 911 gets overloaded basically instantly. The very instant something big happens.
Because there's people outside of the airport.
There's 300 people in that airport
who can see it.
Yeah, there's 300 people in that
airport where that plane just crashed.
There's 300 people on their cell phones in the airport that just called 911. Okay, you don't have a slim shot of getting through. So my next thought would be, what about air traffic control? They can talk you through a decent... They can give you a visual of what you can't see. They can tell you if fuel is leaking. They can tell you if you need to evacuate or if you're going to be okay for the next... 10 minutes till people get there. That's the kind of thought I would go through. And I would check to make sure, do I see an oily substance pouring out of the wing? And if I do, I'm sure as hell not going to get out on that wing like those people did. I'm going to either wait until I actually see flames, because I know this plane is designed in a way that even if it does catch on fire, if I'm on the other side of the wall, it's going to take about a half hour for that to burn through.
Really?
Yeah. Planes are designed this way.
Well, I'm putting my trust in you, Jeff. Good thing we're going to Vegas together on a plane.
Yeah.
Anyways, real quick, I have a recording. We were talking about evolution and God earlier. Well, there's this big guy who's known for a syndicated show, and he was on Sirius XM for a little while, and that's the first time I heard from him. His name is Dark Bell. Did you see the video I shared on Facebook? No. Anyways, he's like an AM talk legendary guy. He's a ham radio operator. You'd love him. And so one day I called into the show. Well, this show was canceled back in 2013, and I had found these videos of when he was on the air on the computer, and so I was listening to them, and I heard my own voice.
If you only had my views of ham radio.
Just shut up. Listen. So I had found my own voice. I had called into this show, and what are the chances that this one particular episode gets posted? And so I recorded it, and I put it on my phone of this. Hold on.
Special line, that's about all I can do. Dark Matter, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Art Bell. I got a question for you. Remember
my
earlier this year
Sirius XM.
A lot of strange phenomenon, strange noises from the sky were reported, and it was all over the internet. I have seen it, and I heard it.
Oh, you're kind of breaking up on me a little bit. Earlier in the year, a strange phenomena all over the internet, something.
Strange noises from the sky, Art. Do you remember hearing about them?
Yeah, I do, yes.
What is your opinion on that?
I have none particularly about the source of them. We hear strange noises here all the time. Big booms, and we sort of know what they are. They're dropping bombs over at Fort Irwin. And when I say big booms, I mean gigantic booms. So we're kind of used to hearing strange noises, but I know what you're referring to on the internet, and no, I have no idea.
That's a lot of
Guess he's gone. That's sad. Well, that's the cellular world that we live in now.
I drove through that dead zone on my way
Now you know why
Cadillac.
we require that our guests have a corded phone. Sorry about that, sir. The gods were not smiling on you. Dark Matter, and you're on the air.
So that's that. I wanted to share that with you because I felt so proud of myself that I got on Art Bell's Dark Matter. And the fact of the matter is I had just stumbled across that accidentally.
Huh.
What a deep subject.
Yeah, today was Life Choices with Jeff.
Yes, I loved it. But we do have to wrap up the show right now. This after show is going to be absolutely amazing. If you're not sure, if you're listening to us on the Indie Authority right now, well, there's a way you can listen to our pre-show and after show. And Jeff and I record this on Monday nights, and we share a link. Normally. Have we ever done it on a different night? Anyways, we share the link on our Facebook page where
That's
you can
why
listen
you should
to.
like us on Facebook, so you'll know.
That's what I was getting at. On the pre-show and after show at facebook.com/Random Overflow. That's where you can listen to it. You like the Harry Potter theme playing in the background?
And even if we record on a different day, it'll still say it on Facebook, so you'll still know.
It'll be on your Facebook feed, everything that we're doing on this show. We got to get the likes up. I know. I'm not even going to mention how many we're at right now because it's so embarrassing.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. And we're not like other major big shows that buy their likes. No.
Like a local radio station?
Yeah. I work for a terrestrial station and our competitor buys their likes. No, we just wait for people to come like us. And that's what we've been doing on mine and Jeff's radio show. So stop by facebook.com/Random Overflow and give us a like right now.
And randomoverflow.com, that'll hopefully be up.
Wait, what's the process on that? Real quick. We only have a few seconds.
It's getting there. I've got the ground set up. I'm just trying to figure out basically how we want to approach it, like what software and such. You get what I'm saying?
All right, so stay close. Facebook.com/Random Overflow and randomoverflow.com.
Thanks for listening to the Dirty South Network. Join us next week worldwide. Listen to us on radio, check listings for stations and times, or catch this or previous shows on demand anytime at aircheck.us/show/916. Dirty South Network, all rights reserved.